What is that?
Celestial navigation dome for a B29 Super Fortress.
Okay. And where in the world did you get this thing?
It's been in a barn for about 20 years. Rats have chewed on the box, and, you know, it's old and damp in there.
Yeah.
Hope it's not dangerous to breathe in the fumes this thing's giving off.
Seriously. I came to the pawn shop to sell my observation dome from a B29 Super Fortress. I refused to tell these guys how much I paid for it because they'll probably just try to lowball the out of me. This was used by the navigator to do celestial navigation at night. His job was to make sure that plane was right where it was supposed to be on course.
Let me see. Dome. Navigators observing. Type A1B. Data manufacturer 93153. This thing looks really cool. I don't know much about it, but apparently they'd have a navigator looking out of this thing using the sun and stars to navigate while they're in the air. You have to remember, they didn't have GPS back then. This is interesting. I wonder what that's for. I hope that's not what I think it is. Didn't they have the little blast things to bust these things off in an emergency?
So you're saying that might be not stable or what?
I have no idea.
Great.
It's a really cool item.
The problem is I don't know nearly enough about it, and I don't even know if the thing's restorable. There's mold on it or whatever this stuff is, and this thing's got to go on a plane. And there's guys out there right now restoring B-29s, and they're looking for these parts. Let me get a buddy in here, and he'll take a look at it, and he'll know a lot more about this thing than both of us combined. All right?
Cool.
All right, thanks.
I run the Clark County Museum and the Aviation Museum at McCarran Airport. Rick just calls me in when he gets some unusual items, and I've looked at a lot of stuff over the years. You've got an Astrodome. These were used on a number of different aircraft. The idea was that if you were doing long-distance flying, especially if you were flying over the ocean, there was no good way to navigate. So you had to use a sextant when you were navigating, just as if you were on a ship. So you had a dome like this on large aircraft, mainly bombers and transports, and you could stand up and actually take readings with your sextant from the stars, and you had a 360-degree view on it. Now, they were used in a number of other ways as well. Most notably, you were maintaining radio silence. You would get up into this and you would signal to the other planes using a lamp so that the enemy couldn't pick out where you were. So they were an important part of aircraft.
Okay.
So what's your question on it, I guess, at this point?
What is this?
Yeah. Now that's interesting.
I didn't know if that was like to blow it off or something like that in an emergency.
No, they didn't blow the hatch on the aircraft. No, this was probably for getting rid of the static electricity that would build up on the exterior of the plane.
Okay. So you think it's usable?
It doesn't look to me like there's any real crazing on it. It looks like the surface is intact. No, this would be fine. If you were restoring a B-50 or a C-97, this would be a wonderful piece to have. You'd need to have it.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in, Mark. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem. Good to meet you.
So do you want to pawn it or sell it?
I'll sell it.
For me, it sounds like it's going to be more trouble than it's worth. And that's my problem at the moment.
Well, just make me an offer, you know.
I mean, like I said, it's
What's it worth to you?
$100.
It's worth more than $100.
It is, but I'm a business guy. I got to pay someone to be on the phone for a few days to sell this thing. You know, I'm going to have hundreds of dollars in labor tied up to maybe get $500 out of it. And that's why it's just not worth my time.
No, I'll keep it then.
I'm sorry. That's all I can really tell you.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for coming in. I'm sorry we couldn't do business. I think this thing is so cool. It has a ton of history, and I would have loved to have bought it. But it's one of those items that needs a particular buyer that's doing a very uncommon restoration. So it's not smart business to get tied up in an item like this.